Hi everyone, welcome to a Sip and Spin subscriber spotlight. I was so excited when Lisa, one of my subscribers, wrote in and asked if I would be willing to feature the Ashford Charka on my show. I jumped at the opportunity because I didn't realize that Ashford had ever made a tabletop spinning wheel. Interestingly enough, they made two versions of this Charka. So I'm going to talk a little bit about it and then I'm going to demonstrate it on today's show. So as we first take a look at this wheel, we see that it's got a very secure, solid base. It has a wheel, and when you get in and you start looking at all of the parts and pieces, it reminded me at first of a great wheel setup. It has the accelerator gear right here, and that's what's going to turn the quill. Kate of Ashford, she was so kind, she answered all of my questions. She did confirm that this gear right here was just decorative to balance out those two pieces. The drive band only goes around the bottom one. This piece right here is where you increase or reduce the tension. And when I first took a look at it, I was a little bit confused. I wondered why the handle didn't go on the front. Well, as soon as I started working with it, I realized that to try and turn it with it facing sideways would put your wrist at a very awkward angle. Having it set up in this configuration makes it so much easier, and your wrist can stay neutral, and that's really important. A lot of times spinners struggle with wrist, finger, and shoulder issues. So anytime you can have a product that is designed to help minimize some of those strains, I really appreciate that. Unfortunately, only 500 of these were made. So if you can find one of these out in the wild, you're doing well, because there aren't too many of them out there. If you happen to have one, you've got a gem, because these really are incredibly unique little products. The other thing that I did when I first started, I was like, oh, we're gonna, it's like, we're gonna crank it this way. Well, to go forward, you're going to do an S twist, and that is spinning. Usually when we do S twist, that is when we ply, we need to come back toward us if we want to get that traditional Z twist, which is what most singles are. Now, this wheel goes very fast, so it doesn't require a lot in order to get the quill to turn. And so I want to demonstrate spinning with this particular wheel. First, I want to show a couple little mini skeins that Lisa created, and I really wanted to show these because I wanted to show how absolutely what you can do if you really know how, if you're comfortable using this wheel and you've had the time to practice. This yarn is absolutely magnificent. It is just, it's absolutely beautifully spun, which is really exciting to see. I am not going to spin that beautifully as I demonstrate this. All right. So just like with a great wheel, to get it started, I do just a little bit of an overlap there. And I am going to be spinning off the tip, just like I would if I were spinning on a great wheel. I really like this cotton too, because even though it's got such a short staple length, this is a brown, it has a really nice tooth, so it wants to stick together, which I appreciate, because cotton is not my favorite fiber to spin. All right, so we're going to traditionally do long draw. And then wind on. One of the things that I really, really sorry, I'm concentrating. I can't talk and spin at the same time sometimes. One of the things that I really love about this design and this setup is, unlike a book charka, and that's traditionally when we think of a charka, we think of the book charka that opens up and there is a quill coming out and we're turning this way. And I've never had good luck using a book charka. And again, it's practice. That's all it is. I've seen some absolutely beautiful spinners who are quite accomplished, and they do it intuitively. And I think with any tool, practice makes perfect. Unfortunately, I was never able to get comfortable using a book charka. The one that I had when I first started spinning, I sold almost immediately. So unfortunately, I don't have an example of that to show. But Ashford, in this design, it's almost like they have married the best of three worlds. They've taken sort of a great wheel configuration and they've made it compact, but it spins much like a Tockley would. So they've combined the idea of a Charka, a Tockley, and a great wheel all in this beautiful little setup that spins cotton so, so, so well. I have had a lot of fun spinning on this and getting to know this little wheel. And as much as I hate to say it, it's one of those things where I'm like, I might have to see if anybody out there is willing to part with theirs. Although if you have one, I wouldn't part with it because these are really, really fun little wheels. All right, so I'm going to let that sit there. I will flip this back around. So this is an Ashford Charka. It is the first in what I hope to be many subscriber spotlights. So if there is a tool, a product, or a technique that you would like more information on or that you would like to see demonstrated, please let me know in the comments. As always, thank you so much for tuning in. Happy spinning.